What's up, everybody? My name is Theo Snodgrass. Welcome to Theocracy. I am, of course, your intrepid host, Theo Snodgrass. Wherever you may be, thank you for making me a part of your day. I had to adjust the title of my stream for a minute to make it acceptable to Twitch standards. I'm learning all about Twitch standards lately, which is a really good thing. Let's see. There we go. Hold on. Let's make that. There we go. Okay, now we're live on Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. Twitch did not like the title of this stream. That's all right. I put a star in it. I don't know what. The title of the stream is Hysterical Retards Protesting ICE, which apparently is unpopular with the streaming websites. So I'm finding that out. That's okay. Finding that out now for the very first time. That's been good. I don't know what they want me to call it, though. That's the thing. I don't know what they want me to call it. This has been a lot of fun. So anyway, we're going to talk about that today. We got a lot of things to get into. That's what's setting the internet on fire. Is basically we've got a bunch of people running into the street and starting conflicts with law enforcement officers or shrieking into their phones about it. And it's everywhere. This is like ubiquitous. This discussion is like all anybody is talking about right now, which makes me wonder what we're overlooking. If this is the main thing that people are talking about right now. Yeah, I will. I'm a part of a few different Facebook groups for like comedy and stuff, and people were like, "How are we as comedians going to oppose ICE?" And it's like, we're fucking not. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? How are we as comedians going to oppose ICE? What does that mean? What are we going to do to make this a more welcoming community for our immigrants? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Nobody thinks you're smart or cool or transgressive or interesting or rebellious. I think it's just a bunch of like narcissistic fuckwits that have main character syndrome. And they think that they're, like I said, I say this all the time. They read Harry Potter. They saw The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. They might have read Minotaur Milking Farm. And then they didn't read any more books. Like they literally did not consume another piece of literature. They haven't done any like high power thinking. They haven't done anything, critical to challenge their worldview. So they don't know any history. So they live in this like fantasy world where they're the main character in like a fantasy book, like Harry Potter. Like they're in Dumbledore's army and Donald Trump is Voldemort. And whatever happens, nothing bad is ever going to happen to them. Like, this is what I'm saying is like, this is distinctly different than the protests you see in like authoritarian regimes, like Iran, for instance. What's going on there right now? Like the people who are protesting in Iran right now, shout out to Iran. The people who are protesting in Iran right now, they know that there's a good chance that when they go out to protest, they might get shot. They might actually die. Like there's a really good chance. And based on the way these ICE protesters are acting, they're acting like they're not in any real meaningful danger. So yeah, I mean, yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, yeah, so okay, I'm gonna look at this later. So it's fucking with me. Anyway, that's okay. So I don't know. Hopefully it says my Facebook stream might not be public. It might be friends. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is dumb. Anyway, I'm getting used to StreamYard, everybody. I upgraded to StreamYard. Very exciting. So that's a little bit nicer than what I was using before. That's why We're having some hiccups, but that's also why my audio isn't cutting out in the middle of the stream anymore. And that's why my camera is actually looking like a camera now. This is not a new camera, by the way. This is the same camera I was using before. It just works now because I'm using a better software. So shout out to StreamYard. You guys are the best. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to get into this. So a lot of you guys have heard about the significant disparity in political beliefs between men and women. A lot of you have heard a lot about that. And I actually have a chart to pull up that we're going to look at because a lot of this is, I know what a lot of you have noticed is that it seems like the fucking frontline shock troopers for this movement of retards is women, particularly like millennial and Gen Z white women, right? Like that seems to be who's at the front lines of this. And you're like, well, why would that be? That's retarded. I totally agree. It's a bad use of their time. They shouldn't be doing that. They should just go do like literally anything else, but that's what they're doing. And I wonder, some of you might be wondering why. So let's look at this real quick. So this is a chart. This is a chart that I can see. For those of you that can't see, maybe you guys can't see. Hold on. No, you can see pretty good. Okay, so this chart, you can see these squiggly lines here, basically. All right. So this one, this is the political beliefs of women. They're charted over here. They go way the fuck left, and these ones go here, go way the fuck right. And you can see there's two big spikes where women went way left. One of them was in 2016, where men and women both went pretty left in 2016, because that was when there was that big aggressive media push to remind us that like Hitler was the second coming of mustache, or Trump was the second coming of mustache man. Right? He's the second coming of Hitler. So, yeah, so that was when that was bad. And then, so everybody went left in 2016. But then you look down here in 2020, it's like men kind of dipped right, but men are still within like a reasonable range of where they have always been. So down here in like 2004, men are actually a little more conservative than they are now, for instance. So this is like all within like a normal range. And then women in 2020 went like way the fuck left. Then they've come back a little bit. But now there's a 23-point gap between men and women. And there's a 12-point gap in 1990. And this is 18 to 29. So these are the people who are supposed to be like dating each other. Right. And so, but these women who were like 18 to 29 in here in like 2016 are, 10 years later, are the 28 to 39s that are like in the streets. So they were super left too. See that? So this was still like this is like the normal range here. And then they just went way there. It's women who are like way outside their historical norms, not men, despite reporting to the contrary. It's not, the problem isn't that like, it doesn't seem to be, a lot of people are not talking about like, the focus seems to be on men being radicalized online. Like, men are going to find these like toxic YouTube influencers, hopefully like me, who are going to radicalize them and push them far to the right. Right. But then actually, if you look at the data, it seems to suggest that like women are getting like radicalized. And this goes to my theory that I think women were just like, especially young women, were just like basically just one-shotted by TikTok. Like, I think TikTok propaganda, like that short video format, just has a really, really significant ability to change your thinking. I think for women especially, because it's just like so emotionally manipulative. And I mean, if you look around, it does not look like people are mentally healthy. And we're going to pull up a compilation video here in a bit. And it's not just women. It is mostly women, but it's not just women. So we are going to look at some of these. So we're going to take a look at kind of what we're up against here. It's like people are just like, obviously, they're just like absolutely having this hysterical shit fit. And I think what's so weird about the hysterical shit fit that people are having right now is that like, it's not that dissimilar from when Obama was deporting a ton of people. And people are like, well, how was Obama able to deport so many people and have things not get this bad? And I think the main difference is that local law enforcement was cooperating. Like even the sanctuary cities that were making such a fuss about being a safe place for immigrants were cooperating with ICE. right? So I think the difference here, what's making this so much worse is not necessarily, and obviously, hiring a bunch of ICE agents really quickly is a thing. And, choosing to send a bunch of people to Minneapolis right away, kind of all at once, obviously that's going to have an impact because it's a volatile situation on the ground anyway. But like, I think the main difference this time versus like the deportation that happened under Obama is that local government is saying that they want to go to war with the federal government. I mean, that's brand new. And it's not me saying that. That's fucking Tim Walz saying that. I didn't make that up. Also people are being weaponized. Like I think they're clearly taking like unstable, unemployed people and weaponizing them to be the front line so we can get as many ugly use of force incidents as possible. And local law enforcement is like not helping with crowd control, which normally that would be their job. That would be local police doing that. So that's been left up to ICE agents, unfortunately. And so that's yeesh, not a good time. Not a good time. Let's go ahead and watch some of these videos. Let's see how some people are reacting to it. I'm sure they're taking it super well. Let's see what we got here.
This can't be happening!
Oof. By the way, nose ring and tongue ring.
Hey, kill these ICE agents, bro.
Do the thing that you're supposed to do.
See, this guy, notably, not a woman. Good job, women. That one's not you. Good job. Men, we could do better.
Utilize the Second Amendment.
They are going to murder us all. Hello?
Is that bulletproof vest even bulletproof anymore?
Fuck us! This can't be happening!
Fucking pathetic worm.
These pussy ass ICE motherfuckers, they're gonna start catching a hell of a lot more than snowballs.
Like, if you wear an ICE badge,
like some of these people obviously look deranged. Some of these people look pretty normal. Like this guy looks like a normal dude. Like he looks like he's showered recently. And he's like wearing clean clothes and he's like in a house. Like he looks like a normal person. That's, I think, what's disturbing is that these people that are like, and I don't know, I understand to a certain degree people are just venting, but you got to be careful what you like vent out to the internet because like unstable people are going to watch the shit that you say and it's going to have an influence on them. And you got to think there are people who are just sitting down and just scrolling, and they're just mainlining content like this day and night. What kind of like emotional impact is that having on people? And I think we're seeing that. I mean, I think a lot of the people in the streets, if you checked, I think it's a lot of people who are like either having a bad time anyway, or who are just like terminally online. Yeah, to say nothing of the fact that there's actually like groups that are like recruiting and training people to go out and oppose ICE. I think that kind of like, I think that was the thing that caused me to flip on this issue. Because when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, that's a damn shame. Because remember the first story that came out about the Renee Good shooting, because that's kind of, well, I guess first it was like the Nick Shirley fraud investigation. And when I saw how much fraud was happening and how blatant it was, we got some videos from that we're going to get into. But like, because Nick Shirley dropped a sequel video, and some of the interactions that he had with the Somalis were very telling. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, we got to get these people out, because it's like, it's demoralizing, because you're like, fuck man, I'm sitting here trying to play by the rules. I don't make a lot of money, but I'm like, I don't take handouts from anybody. I just try to do my best and I make do with what I have. And then you look and it's like, wow, these people are getting like millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money. That's crazy. It's demoralizing. And so then, to Trump's credit, he goes in there immediately and tries to take action. So this looks like a lack of immigration enforcement. So they go in there to do some immigration enforcement, and then local government and state government decide to push back. And then, I mean, you've got people who essentially have unlimited free time and have been, I guess, trained by some of these non-governmental organizations, some of these, to like go out and fuck with federal agents, which is just an insane thing that's happening. It's like, what the fuck? That, I think, is the part that's like like causing my brain to explode is that she was, because the first story, remember, that came out was she was just driving by on her way to like soccer practice with the children or whatever. And then the nice agent shot her for no reason. Like that was the original story that came out. And then it found out it's like, nah, she'd been fucking with them for a while. And that was actually why she was there with the express purpose of fucking with them. So that's the people who are actually leaving their house with the express purpose of fucking with federal agents. It's like, yeah, that might have some negative downstream consequences for you. I'm sorry to say, like that might. What did you think was gonna happen? This is I can't believe how disconnected from reality these people are. And what's crazy is that a lot of the people that they're deporting are not like, I think there's this narrative that they're just like deporting random ethnic minorities, and it's like, nah, a lot of these people are like have committed crimes, like sex crimes. Like they're not good people. They're getting what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here, guys? Is that who you want to put your life on the line for? Is that really who you want to put your life on the line for? Like, what are we doing here, guys? This is just like not thought out. So anyway, let's check in with the chat, and then we'll get back with the video. What's up? Strider's here. What's up, buddy? Strider, friend of the channel. Vagabond is here. What's up, buddy? Ronald Skinbird is here. What's up, buddy? Roger Stern is here. This is an amazing juxtaposition with why did you have real bullets? Yeah, that I think that why did you have real bullets right after the drive, baby, drive is just like, that is just perfectly exemplifies what's going on in this situation. These are people who genuinely believe, they don't believe that that anything bad is going to happen to them. I don't know if they view it as like a game or if it's like a fantasy story where they're the main character or what the fuck they think is going on. I don't know how they like mentally frame it, but it's like it's the fact that we have like people going out telling them, ICE are not real cops. You could just do whatever you want to them. You can just like piss in their Cheerios. They're not going to do anything. It's like I don't know, man. It seems like people are doing this on purpose to try to get gullible people killed to politically radicalize people. That seems like what's going on to me. Like, I think they're on purpose trying to cause harm on purpose. It's really, really gross. I hope we get to the bottom of who is paying for this, because this shit's not free. Like, so somebody's paying for it. I don't know who's paying for it, but I hope that person goes to jail, because that shit is crazy. Let's see. Also, the feds are there to deal with some of the most dangerous people on the face of the planet. I get why they're not exactly cool with people fucking with their ability to do their jobs. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. Okay, so imagine you get to the ground, right? You get to the Minneapolis. Local law enforcement is not going to help you at all. They've said expressly that they're not going to help you. Local government is hostile. State government is hostile. Everywhere you go, you get swarmed by citizens who are yelling at you and blowing whistles and filming you and trying to interfere with you. Sometimes they're like interfering with you physically. Like, these people are getting amped up and they're forming a mob. And remember, a mob, like an individual might know, okay, the limitations of what I can do to an ICE agent are X, Y, and Z. And that's how I can stay and be a legal observer or whatever the fuck. Which, by the way, I made it all the way through law school. Never once heard the term legal observer. That is the brand new bullshit that's brand new, fresh bullshit. So anyway, so the problem is, like, you get a bunch of people showing up and all of a sudden that's not a bunch of individuals. That is a mob. And remember, a mob is 2 standard deviations stupider than a regular person. Remember that. So a mob is like, that's all a mob is good for, is torches and pitchforks. A mob can't think. A mob can't be rational. A mob is just like frothing at the mouth for violence. That's why a mob of people recently, I mean, we saw this. They broke into a car and stole a bunch of like guns and paperwork and shit. It's like, that's not good. That's like, why? Because the ICE agents had to abandon their car because the mob surrounded them. Like, guys, what do you think is going to happen if you keep doing that? How do you see this playing out? How do you see this playing out? Do you think the federal government is fucking around about this? It's like, I don't know, man. It's like, So when I hear a bunch of, I guess what I'm saying is, when I'm, looking at Facebook groups I'm in, and I hear a bunch of out of shape comedians talking about how they're going to oppose ICE. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, no, I'm not going to risk getting shot so a bunch of pedophiles aren't going to get deported. What are you talking about? What the fuck? No, actually, what the fuck are you talking about? And this idea, you hear this in some of these other videos. There'll just be like a random white woman be like, I'm afraid to go home because ICE is going door to door. It's like, you're a citizen. What do you give a fuck? Like, it's nothing to do with you. It's like, hey, we're going to get into that in a second. There's an element to this that some of this is just straight up these women are horny. There is an element to this that's like pure sexual fantasy. We talked about this on the last show. This is the second episode in a row I'm doing on this. I hope by next Monday, there'll be something else to do an episode about. I will go back to our regularly scheduled programming about Nick Fuentes, or Pierce Morgan, or women are whores. I want to go back to my regularly scheduled women are stupid whores programming. This was started out as a perfectly innocent women are retarded show, and now it's a politics show. You think I wanted this? You think I wanted to be a political commentator? No, I was perfectly happy sitting here calling women retarded all day, every day. That was very happy with that. That was a good job for me. That's a good job. That's my wheelhouse. That's what I know about. I have a PhD in like women's retardation. That's what I'm good at. And now, because women's retardation is now the dominant force in American politics, women's retardation sets the policy agenda for the most powerful civilization that has ever existed in the history of time. So we have to talk about it in the context of politics. Do you think I want to? You think that's what I wanted for me? You think that's what I wanted when I woke up this morning? No, absolutely fucking not. But here we are, and here you guys are, and I really appreciate you guys being here. By the way, shout out to me. By the way, Stream Elements tip jar in the description. Send me money if you feel like it. If you feel like I deserve it. All the money you send me is just going to go to making the show better, because it's not going to be enough to like make that much of a difference in my income. But if you send me money, it's just going to go into like my PayPal or whatever, and then I'm going to use it on stuff to make the show better. Like, as you can see, one of the pictures behind me fell down, so I need to get more command strips at Target today. So if you want to send me money for command strips, then we can fix this background. It's making iron oxide neurotic. Shout out to Iron Oxide, friend of the channel. Make sure to check out his show, Ironcast. His coverage of this has been really good. So make sure to check out Ironcast. He's been doing a great job staying on top of this. Let's see. Oh, strategy chat. Did you see the student walkouts in Minneapolis ending in violence where all the black kids ended up fighting? It couldn't be a better ad for deportations. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I'll have to check that out. We might have that ready for next episode. Yeah, the thing is, like, the facts of this keep changing all the time. And basically everybody who jumped the gun and was like, oh, this is a murder, looked like a fucking retard. And everybody who was like, oh, I better wait for more facts to come out. Within 3 days, the situation had completely changed multiple times as new information came out. And then but by that time, people were already in the streets being fucking hysterical. Hey, let's go ahead and break down the rest of this video, because I got a bunch more videos. I always do this. I always pause the video and then I start monologuing, and then I've got a bunch of shit that I want to get through, and I never get through it. And then I get caught up responding to fucking viewer comments. By the way, this show was supposed to be talking about women are retarded and like giving dating advice and shit. That was the point of this show. And now I'm doing this. You think I wanted to do this? Anyway, go ahead.
From now on, I would expect people to start magnating you.
I encourage everyone who sees this video to bear arms and practice your Second Amendment right.
Mind their business.
By the way, I encourage everyone to practice their Second Amendment right as well, but I don't encourage you to like shoot at federal agents who are deporting pedophiles. Don't do that. That's not good. Deporting pedophiles is good, actually. I am against pedophiles living in this country, and I don't care who knows it. I don't care. I am against crime. I am for deporting criminals. I'm anti-crime. This is an anti-crime show. Go ahead.
Boo! That's how we need to start doing them.
We're not gonna go get justice. We're gonna go get revenge.
we're gonna round up a whole lot of
Let me ask you, do you think this guy, you're scared of this guy? I'm not scared of this guy. I think he's completely disconnected from reality. So Weasel's here. What's up, friend of the channel? Weasel's here. Wait, that was dating advice in the past? I thought it was a guide on what not to do. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, actually. That's honestly, here's the thing, and this is what I'm saying. One of the big problems we're having, one of the reasons we're having so much trouble with, like, you know, Gen Z men checking out of society and like not, and like being like politically radical or whatever, and having like host scaring politics, is because of an absence of male mentorship. And I think part of that is like millennials are genuinely immature little bitches for the most part. And the men particularly, the women are just the worst, but the men are not great, because we wanted to like sit around in our cartoons and sit around our pajamas and watch fucking Rick and Morty all day and eat cereal. And it's like, and buy Funko Pops instead of like taking our place as like leaders in our communities. And not all of us did that, but enough of us did that the Zoomers noticed. And millennials, we responded to everything going to shit economically for us by becoming socialists and turning to the government and being like, give me. It was like we wanted a handout. And like the Zoomers are like, nah, fuck that. We're just going to take what's ours. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I actually respect that more than like the millennial tendency to just like become a socialist and sit in your pajamas and watch Rick and Morty and talk about doggos or whatever. So yeah, but that part of that is like, I think a lot of us guys, like myself, very much included, are like, we get to our 30s and we're like, yeah, I am not nearly as successful as I was hoping to be. I'm basically a fucking failure. I'm a genetic dead end. I'm a debt slave. I have basically failed at every aspect of life up to this point. I've accomplished nothing meaningful at all. So what advice do I have to pass on to the younger generation? I'm like, bro, if that describes you, tell them what not to do. Tell them the dumb shit you did and why it didn't work out. That's still useful information. You can tell them what to avoid. Like, for better or for worse, I have a PhD in crazy women. And I'm using that information all the time now. I'm like passing that on to the next generation the best I can. And a lot of these young guys that I talk to, almost none of them are like out to like crush as much pussy as possible. Almost all of them that I talk to are like, I want to start a strong Christian family and build a legacy for the next generations. I owe it to my ancestors. And I'm like, fucking based? What? It's guys are like 20 years old who talk like this. It's like, it's crazy to hear. It really is. It's totally different than where millennials were at that age. It's like, man, we're going to get drunk and crush pussy. Woo! It's like, fuck that, dude. Waste of time. Yeah. Step one, don't do crazy women. It's worse than drugs. That's right, Rogue Nerd. Boy, do we know it. Yeah, F's in the chat for wasting time on crazy women. Oh, man. Anyway, let's go ahead and break down the rest of these videos because I had a lot of stuff to get through. We're already 30 minutes into the show. Jeez. All right, go.
fuckers.
Hey, if you're an ICE agent, this might be a good time to kiss your spouse and kids goodbye, because you know what? You might not be coming home tomorrow.
What a wild thing to say. What a wild thing to say. Absolutely crazy. Like, dude. And this is not a young person, by the way. This person, those of you doing the audio only version of the broadcast, this gentleman has some gray in his beard. So he's probably late 30s at the youngest, probably 40s more like. This is the point in your life where you're supposed to be a leader in the community. You're supposed to have a family, and you're supposed to be tempering the impulsive nature of young men who are quick to violence. You know, that's your job as a man this age, because you've seen some stuff. That gray in that beard has to be earned by experience. And so your job at that point is to calm people the fuck down. This is crazy, dude. It is crazy, dude, that we're at that. It's weird to me that, like, I you can tell these are people who, I don't know if they're like bored with their lives or if they just don't understand the consequences of violence. I think a big part of it is like not understanding the consequences of violence, not really understanding what they're asking for. I think that's a big part of it. The psychology of these people, and I think part of it is like, psych meds, part of it's like short videos. Some amount of it is for the women, especially, is hormonal birth control. I mean, we have more women on psych meds than any point in history. My thing with the psych meds, though, I don't know, how is that different? Maybe chat, maybe you guys can weigh in on this. How is that different than like women self-medicating with like Quaaludes in the 50s? Like bored housewives, like self-medicating with like Quaaludes and like cigarettes and like gin. Are psych meds really that much different? Other than, I think the difference being, let's see if I can answer my own question for a second. I think maybe the difference is the psych meds are being given to them. They're telling them, hey, you have some kind of mental health diagnosis. We're going to give you medicine and that's going to fix it, versus like, Quaaludes and whiskey is like, just, I don't know. And by the way, I don't think I think if you feel crazy and what you do all day is like eat garbage food and like watch videos designed to drive you insane, then you take a bunch of like exogenous hormones or like psych meds or whatever, then acting insane is like the rational response, because you're just getting fucked with all the time. So this is what I tell young guys this all the time. It's like, if you want to see clearly, you have to stop eating the slop. Right. And that means stop consuming the content, stop watching the shows, stop watching the porn, just stop with the Netflix and the porn and just all the stuff that's trying to influence your brain. Stop with the TikTok videos, all the stuff that's trying to influence you. Just fucking, you got to cut that shit off, and that'll clear up the brain fog. You got to read books again. You got to reclaim your attention span. That's hard, but you got to clear this shit out, because this shit right here. This is your brain on social media. And I don't know if this gentleman is taking psych meds or fuck, man. I don't even know. Maybe it's a trans person and they're just hopped up on hormones. Who the fuck knows, man, anymore? You can't even tell with these people if it's like an effeminate man or like a trans man. Homie who was at the protest and lost an eye. That dude was actually used to be a lady, which is, which is crazy. So it's like, I don't know. I think this is clearly a mental health crisis. We got a lot of people who are seriously mentally unwell. These don't strike me as people who believe in their politics passionately. These strike me as people who are seriously unwell, and they're desperately in need of a sense of community. I don't know if it's look, I'm biased. I think they need Jesus. I think going to church would do them some good. Even if it's whatever, man. I don't really care what kind of church, even just got some kind of church community where people care about you, as long as it's not one of those crazy woke churches. I gotta say that a lot of Protestant denominations got absolutely one-shotted by wokeness. The Church of England basically doesn't exist anymore because of fucking wokeness. And Anglicanism worldwide is just in a fucking split over wokeness. All these denominations, I know so many churches that just went full woke and just got completely disconnected from anything approximating a Christian message, man. So it's you gotta, if you can find a good church, that's great. But truly, I don't know what to tell people who are really distressed and badly in need of a sense of community. Cause it's I hope there's a good church near you. And if there's not, fuck, man, I don't know, join a gym. I do think right-wing people kind of congregate at the gym. Not that right-wing people are paragons of mental health. They just seem to be doing better. They do seem to be doing better right now. So if you want to hang out with people who are not mentally ill, at the very least, if you can find it. And it does seem like they congregate at the gym. I think that's because the gym is proof that hard work does pay off over time. And that's the foundation of the right-wing worldview, is making my locus of control small and focusing the things I can control versus focusing on things outside of my locus of control, which, by the way, is a recipe for being mentally stable, is focusing on the things you can control. Because these people are all obsessed. That's one of the common threads, other than the women who are sexually fantasizing about a big, strong ICE officer placing them under arrest. These people are all thinking, they're spending all their mental bandwidth thinking about things that are outside of their control that they can't control. Right? So that's a recipe for feeling terrible. all the time if you focus on things you can't control. Anyway, let's check in with the chat real quick. Let's see. Women don't realize killing the frat boy crushing puss stereotype made room for us to pursue worthwhile things instead of leaving them behind. Oops. Yeah, dude. It's just, oh, Iron Oxide is here. What's up, buddy? Iron Oxide, friend of the channel. That's exactly right. Strider is like, actually, like, it's a complete fucking waste of time to live that way and like pursuing meaningful things. And I'm seeing that reflected in the younger generation. The problem is, I think most of the women are not interested in having families. They're not interested in having a long-term relationship. They want to be like impulsive and single. And it's something I talk about a little bit, but I'm kind of working on this idea. It's this idea like, if you give women the choice, then they'll just like be a girl boss and not get married and have children, and they won't have children, and they'll just like run around and like buy shoes and be promiscuous, die alone or whatever. And it's like, that means marriage was a bad deal the whole time, because when it's like, well, no, it's like, if you give anyone the option to take the easy way out and not to fulfill their responsibilities to society, they will do that. Men will do that too. If you tell men, you don't have to work at all, we'll just give you free money and you can stay home and jerk off and play video games, you don't have to do anything, then a lot of men will do that too. But the reason you don't do it is like, because who gives a fuck what you want to do? Who gives a fuck what's like the easy way out? That's not important. You have a duty to your ancestors to create the next generation. You have a duty to the people who are alive right now to do your best, because society needs you. You, whoever you are, society needs you to be at your best so we can get into the future. Whatever your talents are, your community needs those talents. And if you just live an incredibly selfish life and you just like bed rot, or you spend your whole life like, fucking random people or whatever, and you just don't contribute anything, like you're not doing your duty to the society that needs you. It needs you to use your talents in the best way you can. It needs you to find someone and marry that person so that they're not alone and you're not alone. And it needs you to like fucking, pop out some children so that you've got the next generation is going to be here, because your ancestors worked really hard to create the world that you get to live in. So you're just drawing benefits from it. And if you don't contribute anything back, you're just a fucking leech. And that's the easy way out. I totally get it. And that's true. Like men and women will take the easy way out when given the opportunity, generally speaking. That's a human tendency. But that doesn't mean just because they will choose that if they have the choice that is therefore a better choice. Like, who gives a fuck what you want to do? You have duties. You owe something to the people who came before you and the people who will come after. You owe that. This is a duty you owe. It's not about you. It's who gives a fuck what you want. Why does that matter? I've never understood that. Anyway, I don't buy into that ethos about it's just like whatever you want. But again, anyway, let's check it with the chat. Let's see. The party lifestyle is fun at first, then the bill comes due before the party ends, though. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. The party's still going and you want to leave. And that's not good. I promise you that's not fun. And you think the fun is going to last forever, and it's not. That hedonic treadmill is a motherfucker. Anyway, let's see what else. If you don't contribute anything back, you're no better than a fucking boomer. That's right. That's right. God bless it. I have boomer parents. I got to say, my boomer parents get it more than most boomers. A lot of boomers just like have no fucking idea. And I actually have been able to explain to my boomer parents what's actually going on, and they're somewhat receptive to it. I think my dad still wants to believe in the American dream a little bit, but he's definitely noticed how like off kilter a lot of young men are nowadays. And he's noticed that. And he's like, okay, well, that probably didn't just fall out of the sky. And he's heard me talk about it. And I know he watches the show sometimes on Rumble, which is like, shout out to my, baby boomer father for figuring out how Rumble works, so yeah. So, but yeah, most boomers are completely out of touch with how they just like walked out of their house, slipped and fell into a great job, and then ended up with a bunch of shit. And they're like trying to figure out why we didn't just like do the exact same thing. They have no fucking idea what we're up against. So yeah, so be a contributor. Don't be like that. Be a contributor. Go ahead.
Was that just there are a lot of people.
Why do they all look like this? I'm telling you, dude. Like, she's like, here's the thing. What's crazy is like she wouldn't be as emotionally dysregulated if she was off psych meds, she'd probably be better off. I know that's not cool to say because it's medical advice or whatever. I'm not this woman's doctor. I'm just saying psych meds a lot of times are preventing you from solving the problem by masking it, not actually helping you solve the problem. The other thing too is I guarantee you, if she fixed her diet, not trying to be a dick here, I'm not calling her Fatty McFatterson. I'm saying if she changed up her diet, her blood sugar would be more regulated and her emotions would not be all over the place. Like, you'd be amazed how much diet contributes to your emotional stability. Truly. And I know that probably it doesn't sound like, it's like, why would those things be connected? I promise you it does. If you are a person who struggles with emotions like I did for a long time, one of the best things you could do is to get yourself a diet that makes sense. And then get your blood sugar in check, and you're going to feel a lot better just on a day-to-day basis. Truly. So.
Gang, they done found you and your whole family.
Oh, if you slime the fuck out of an ICE agent, just say you were with me, and I'll corroborate the story.
Like, hello? Knock, knock, knock. Are you home? Wake up.
Okay, some of these people look retarded, and but that woman looked kind of normal though. But some, like, this person's obviously going to be a problem. Like, you know what their politics are just by looking at them. Go ahead.
Rage.
Oh, that's a man. Fuck. My bad. It could. But it could be one of those ladies that turned into a man. So you never know nowadays. You never know nowadays. Damn. That's a thing. It's hard to. Man.
Rage.
I would not have guessed that.
Fuck, I hate it here.
The YNs know we about to go into martial law. We need these YNs to step up. These young boys that's running around these ski masks, these super United States gangsters.
I'm trying to figure out why we're not shooting them.
Are we fucking great yet? Are we a great country?
Oh, man.
It's fucking great.
Oh, boy.
Remember, people, if a masked man tries to kidnap you, put a bullet in his fucking face.
Hey, okay, so I gotta be honest. Yesterday's show, I spent a lot of time shitting on women. Turns out there's a lot of men that are contributing to this problem. I did not realize that. That's my fault. That's one of my blind spots. I gotta check my privilege next time. I didn't realize how many men were contributing to this. I thought it was just women. I really thought it was just women. I didn't know how many fucking retarded men were part of the problem. That's my bad, guys. I won't overlook that again. Go ahead.
I'm really questioning when the left's gonna start playing Papa Cop. Tag DHS. I am Antifa.
It's time to purchase my Second Amendment or get the fuck out of this country, and I haven't decided which one I want to do yet.
Stop! I'm not even giving you the opportunity.
Not everybody has the stomach or the wherewithal for what needs to happen next.
We are not getting out of this through voting.
No questions. We don't need to be asking no questions. We just need to, whoa, hey, sir, boom.
This is alarming because you got to think there's people who are just spending all day scrolling on TikTok, and these are the videos they're seeing. Like, so how many like mentally unstable, like not okay people who are jacked up on like all kinds of like medication, who are eating the poisonous food that they're feeding us, you know, are just completely emotionally, mentally dysregulated, don't really have a good concept of what's going on. They don't have a lot going on in their lives. And they're like, fuck it, I'm just going to go out today and shoot at a federal agent. Like, how long before something like that happens? Like, really, how long is it before, you know, the shit gets really serious? And by the way, in Minneapolis in particular, they got no support from local law enforcement. By the way, that's not local law enforcement's fault, by the way. That decision was made above their pay grade. I'm sure if you talk to a regular cop in Minneapolis and you ask them, do you like what's going on? They'd probably be like, fuck no. They probably want to be out helping their community, because a lot of these guys sign up for that work because they want to help their community. And there's some guys who are dicks. There are cops who are dicks, and we've all had run-ins with cops who are dicks. I mean, if you were a rambunctious young man, you've had a run-in with at least one cop who was not friendly. You know, they're not all officer friendly. I'm not saying that, but broad strokes, I think most of these people, it's probably killing them to watch this community tear itself apart and them not be able to do anything. That's probably eating them alive. You know,
all I need to do. That's all we need to be doing.
I don't want a vigil. I want Molotov.
Damn. All right. Oh, Weasel in the chat. There are no men in the video. Those are all little boys without life experience and common sense. Yeah, big time. Big time. That's some wisdom from Diesel, or Weasel, rather. Hey, no barking, buddy. This is an enclosed room. You got to chill out, okay? No barking. No barking. I love you, though. All right. Let's check this out. This is okay. This one was crazy. I don't know if you guys know, buddy. I'm doing a show right now. So this one, this was just a guy that a bunch of protesters cornered in a parking lot because he was driving like a Chevy Suburban, I think, or whatever. One of the, that's like the standard SUV for like feds is the Suburban, or what is the smaller one? Anyway, doesn't matter. There's those Chevy SUVs that used to be in the 90s, like everybody's fucking mom had a Suburban, and now they cost like $80,000. So it's just the feds who have them. Anyway, this guy was just like driving one, and he got cornered in a parking lot by a bunch of protesters. So let's go ahead and look at that. Let's see how that played out.
Here you go. Yeah, like I said, I don't have to do this. I'm happy to do this. That's all.
So he's doing this just to placate them. Like, he does not have to do that. He could tell them to fuck off, but he's choosing to open it up to show them that he's not ICE. And look at this. This is like some tiny little woman. That's who's doing this,
We just got to stop this.
So he's got a lot of camera equipment. I think we can say this isn't ICE.
Yeah, I'm not. I tried to tell the first lady that nobody believes me. That's all I can do is tell you. I already showed. Listen, first of all, I don't have to do any of that, but I'm kind. I respect what you are doing.
Yeah, at some point, guys, we got to stop being nice to these people. We got to stop placating these people, because accommodating their crazy bullshit is what emboldens them to keep doing more crazy bullshit. At some point, you just have to tell them to fuck off. You find your local leftist and tell them to fuck off today.
Yeah, no. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I just don't understand the job and I don't know how to do it.
Were you here yesterday?
Yeah.
Yes, he was here yesterday.
Thank you.
I can testify that. I didn't recognize him.
No, I appreciate your help. Thank you.
I'm not here to help you.
I'm not here to help you.
No,
I think the fact that you're in a vehicle like this at this
I
time
get it. But with all due respect to everybody, I get it.
Apparently, she thinks this middle-aged woman thinks that the fact that he's driving a Chevy SUV in a climate like this is unacceptable. Let's see how he responds to it, because I know what you guys are thinking. Well, he can't help what car he drives. He just drives a car. I know that's what you guys are thinking. Let's see how this plays out.
Well, you can. Go rent something else.
You can go rent something else. Why not? Why can't you go rent another car, she says. Why can't you go rent another car? Why do you have to drive the car that you bought? Why can't you just go rent another car to make me more comfortable? You see how this is just like fucking ridiculous? I'm telling you, these are people who are used to getting their way no matter how ridiculous their way is. They're used to being able to be as selfish and narcissistic and retarded as they possibly can. And they're used to people placating them because they don't want to deal with their emotional bullshit. It's like, no, we have to start saying no to these people. We have to start saying no to these people. We have to start setting boundaries. Just say no and calmly say no. There's no sense, mixing it up with them, especially because so many of them are women. I mean, they're little. Just say no to them. Just say no. You seem great. Take it easy. God bless. And you keep it pushing. That's what you do. Now I'm saying this, like, I've been yelled at by women kind of a lot. It happens somewhat regularly to me. Not as much anymore, not since I moved to Vegas, but I used to get yelled at by women kind of all the time. And the way that you handle it is like, oh man, you seem great. You take it easy. And then you get the fuck out of there. That's what you do. You don't gotta, I'm gonna do. No. Nope. None of that. You just say, no, thank you. Take it easy. And then you get out of there. That's what you do. We must start saying no to these people. We must start saying no to these people. We have to, because this is completely out of control. The fact, can you imagine walking up to a stranger and feeling comfortable saying, I don't like the car you drive. It makes me feel emotionally unsafe. Therefore, you need to drive a different car. Like, can you imagine the fucking audacity to do something like that? I can't. Anyway, let's look at the, yeah. Let's see. Today, ICE, tomorrow, local cops. Yeah, it does kind of seem like it's spreading. It does kind of seem like it's spreading to be like just a generic rebellion against authority. It's weird because they, on the one hand, they'll say, you know, ICE are not real cops. And on the other hand, I don't think it would matter at all. I think it's just like a generic rebellion against authority. Remember, all leftist politics is just fuck you, dad. That's really just like, fuck you, dad. That's all they're saying. They don't like their father. They're rebelling against their father figure. That's it. Or their lack of a father figure. It's just like anger. It's just like rage against like patriarchal authority and like men and control and all this stuff. And just like, and having to like regulate your behavior and like wear pants outside and stuff. That's really what leftist politics is all about, is they don't want to have to wear pants. But he doesn't get how good he's got it, not getting the Hassan treatment. For real. Dude, this is a good one. Hold on. Do those protesters have a warrant? It's like, no. Like, the reason this is happening is because this guy is cooperating with that. And look, he's trying to be a nice guy, and I appreciate that. But you can't. These people are not trying to be nice. They're trying to push and push and push and push and push. So if you're trying to be nice, they're not reciprocally trying to be nice. They're trying to push. And if somebody's trying to push, you just got to be like, no, and you got to set a boundary. Okay. That's what's going to happen. And fortunately, we're in an environment where the norm has been, I'm going to be trying to be like, if I met one of you guys at like a Chick-fil-A or whatever, and like we had an interaction, was like I would try to be nice to you and you'd probably try to be nice to me. We try to be respectful to each other, because it's like, if you don't give me a reason to have a problem with you, I don't have a problem with you. That's my default setting. Like, I'm not looking for trouble, right? And you're not looking for trouble because you're a normal person. People in my audience, a lot of them are gainfully employed. Some of them have children, you know. You guys are not. So if I met one of you guys and you didn't know me and we just like bumped into each other at a Chick-fil-A or whatever, we try to be respectful to each other, you know. But like, these people, in this case, these people are looking for problems. They're looking for trouble. They want a confrontation. So if they want a confrontation and you don't want a confrontation, they might try to find out how badly you want a confrontation. They might try to push you until they find a point where you push back, because they want it to end badly. You know, these people want bad things to happen. This isn't about ICE. It's not about immigrants. It's not about none of that. It's about, they've got a bunch of bad feelings and they want to put them into something. You know, and he's driving around in, I guess, a Suburban, which is just, they're deciding that that's like the symbol of like fucking ICE tyranny or whatever.
Well,
I mean, if you've heard
are you going to pay for it? That's not how it works.
This is my business.
I know, this is not how it works. So anyhow, I hope you guys understand. Not here to
He
cause
was
any
here
problem.
with a video camera yesterday. I did see another vehicle with them, but I did see him with a camera.
Let's see. So this stupid psycho Karen thinks it's his fault for driving his car. Where are all these HR bids so insane? Great question. Great question. I don't know if it's like, and if you look, she's got some kind of like gay flag as her scarf, and she's got her hair dyed. So it's like, I don't know. That's usually a sign of wokeness. I don't know if it's like, I used to think it was no children was the problem, but what's her face? Renee Good had children. But she didn't have a husband. She had like a lesbian wife type deal thing that, I don't know what they call that. Husband, lesbian, whatever. And I'm actually starting to think it might be like the absence of like masculine containment that's the problem. It might be the fact that like there's not a man around who's like, sweetheart, don't worry about it. Or at least not a man they trust. Because we're going to get into that later. There's another video coming up here where it's like even some of these women who do have husbands are like, you know, still trying to be in the driver's seat and trying to tell their husbands, you know, what to do. So I don't know. I'm not sure if it's like a lack of children or a lack of husband or what it is that makes these women particularly susceptible to brainwashing. I don't know what it is. And I don't know why it's like what, like, okay, this woman is really poorly equipped for a physical confrontation. And if you're going to run out and like confront somebody because you think that they might be an armed federal agent, there's a chance that could get physical. And she is very poorly equipped to handle that. So I don't know. It must be like, I don't know what's going on, but clearly they're not in touch with the reality of the situation. They just don't have enough real world experience. That's probably a person who's never been punched and thinks it's very unlikely that they will get punched. That must be what's going on. It's just some kind of disconnection from reality. Because it's like, dude, you're putting yourself in a dangerous, like this guy was nice, but he didn't have to be, you know. I don't like the hair you wear, Theo. It makes me emotionally unsafe. Thanks, Professor Savage Dad. Professor Savage Dad, friend of the channel. Let's see. Leftists are too stupid to realize that being anti-police didn't work in 2020. Yeah, it's not. This is not a good strategy. And what's crazy is that like these immigration efforts are having a noticeable effect on crime going down. And a lot of the people that they're hauling out of the country, like the narrative is that they're just hauling out innocent people who didn't do nothing to nobody. And that does not map onto the reality, right? It's not, and it's not also the fact that like that the protesters are just like innocent people who didn't do nothing to nobody is also not mapping onto the reality. The more videos that come out, we see them behaving really obnoxiously. And then when the sun goes down, when they like fucking surrounded ICE agents and like chased them out of town and then broke into the car and like stole a bunch of guns and shit, like that's not peaceful protesting. What do you want me to tell you? Oh, what's up, Theo? That's me. Just another gray individual. What's up, homie? Friend of the channel. Just another gray individual. Let's wrap up this video. Then we got some other ones I want to get to here.
You on the side? No. Okay. I told them I was with the media. Okay. And when people get irate with me, I have no choice to just go out the window.
I think you gotta understand that people would.
What was it yesterday? That's what we did.
They're asking him to be understanding. That they surrounded his car and tried to tell him that he was the problem. And it's on him to be understanding to their position. That's crazy.
Sorry. Let's just wrap this up, okay?
It would be helpful. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's fine.
You guys the first time.
Let's just wrap this up.
Just a random dude. Okay, now, this gets to the point. Watch this. This video is fucking great because one of the things I've been saying since the beginning, you guys don't believe me, is a lot of this ICE opposition is just women's repressed sexual fantasies. This is like monster fucker fiction, but playing out in real life. And this is just watch the video. Go ahead.
And for those of you celebrating the Supreme Court's ruling of what a woman is.
By the way, crazy eyes. Note the crazy, the SSRI eyes. Go ahead.
What's going to happen when you, a cis woman, get stopped by police because they believe you're trans? Oh, I'm not trans, officer. Here's my identification. Oh, I don't believe you. You look trans to me. So what can he do then? He can touch you.
Guys, just wait for it. Wait for it. It gets better.
He can look at you. He can make you take your pants off to show him, to expose yourself. And if you don't, he can put you in jail. Who the fuck does that protect? Because it's certainly not women.
This is just a fantasy she has. That's what she wants to happen. It's just like, oh no, I hope a big, strong Iceman doesn't force me to strip and put me in bondage and secure me against my will. Oh no, I hope he doesn't explore my body. Dude, I say this all the time. It's really hard to take women seriously once you find out what turns them on sexually. It's very hard. It's very hard to do it. Yeah. And what's crazy is women's like repressed sexual fantasies and their desire for authoritarian control is driving our politics right now, and it's driving the West towards extinction. I think they're filling the country with dangerous foreigners because they want big, strong men to do something about it. Like, it's not enough for women to know that men are capable of violence. They want to see it because it makes them horny. This is like not a nice thing. She may not even be aware that that's what she wants to do. But it was like, what? That's like me sitting here, like, what if I was delivering a pizza and I got there, the girl didn't have enough money to pay, but she offered to pay in a different way, and I had to go inside. Like, imagine that's what she's fucking. That's what's going on here. It's just obvious to me. And what's crazy is she doesn't hear it. She doesn't understand that that's what the problem is. Oh, man. This is why, just like, honestly, that got me hard. I might just have to spend some alone time with this video later. That was, whew. Oh, man. That's a lot. Let's see. What else we got? What? Cops can't stop people from being trans. They should, but that doesn't happen. Yeah. Is there a chance she's trolling with this a bit? I don't know. That's a good question. It's hard to tell. That's the thing, because parody and reality are so similar now. It is difficult to tell. It is difficult to tell, but you can tell how these issues are being conflated, right? Like ICE is immigration and customs enforcement, and that doesn't have anything to do with trans. And there currently is not a policy of any law enforcement official anywhere to like transvestigate people. Like ICE is about immigration and customs enforcement, right? So that's about like people who are in the country illegally for the most part. And people who are trying to bring stuff into the country that shouldn't bring that stuff into the country. That's mostly what ICE does. So yeah, but like, yeah, I don't think she's like, it's just like, obviously, I hope a big, strong man doesn't force me to take my clothes off. And they vote. And they vote. And their vote counts the same as yours. This is crazy. We all fell for that liberal chick with the forehead. Then we found out she was a based comedian. I don't know who that is. But yeah, this could be. I don't know. We could find out. But a lot of people are reacting to this right now. Maybe there's something else going on. Who knows? Oh, this is another one. Anyway, this is here's another one. This one is this woman does have a husband. This is what's tripping me out. This is what's tripping me out about this is how many women do have husbands and do have children and are still getting roped into this protest shit. So here's one. This is what she's saying. Go ahead.
For all the men out there whose wives are very concerned about everything happening in Minneapolis and
She's talking to you, married guys, so listen up.
very concerned about when it will come to your front doorstep in your community, because it will. I want you to know that your partner is looking to you to be the protector, provider, and leader of your family that you all claim to be. We've been told our entire lives, men are natural leaders. Now I'm hearing from all my friends when they go to their husbands saying they're worried, that they want your support, that they want to talk to you and plan for what's happening to keep your children safe or to make sure that your family is okay. And you tell them that they're overreacting, it's not going to happen, not to worry about it, to protect your peace. They're looking at you to be the protector.
Okay, that's the thing. So telling you you're overreacting is protecting you. Telling you to protect your peace and to not worry about it is protecting you. Telling you that you're being hysterical and to like go have a glass of water and a taco, that is protecting you. Do you understand that? Like that is them doing their job. Right. And this is what I'm saying. It's like they're married to men, but she's obviously not married to a man that she like trusts and respects. Because a lot of women, if a man that they trust and respect tells them not to worry about something, they're not going to worry about it. She's still very much worried about it. Imagine being, by the way, her username on TikTok is she can't be managed. So yeah, it looks like she can't be managed. Imagine you're like minding your sweet Christian business, and then your wife is on TikTok talking about, you know, how you need to step up and like protect your family from federal air. Just like, what are you guys, immigrants? Like, what the fuck are you worried about exactly? What do you think is going to happen? Walk me through it, like step by step. What do you think is going to happen? But like, and he told her the right thing, what I would have told her, which is don't fucking worry about it. This is your reaction is outsized compared to the threat. Your reaction does not match the threat. Your reaction to this is driven by like media and by TikTok. And there's a bunch of people who are, it's in their self-interest to have you freak out about this, because that benefits them, because then they can farm you for like votes and political donations. And some people, they can get them in the street to cause actual street disruptions, right? So like that benefits people that are trying to stir this shit up. Like the best thing for you and your family is to like calm the fuck down and like not do anything about it. Right? Because what the fuck are you going to do against armed federal agents? Exactly. What is your plan? Exactly. but she's just like, so this is what I'm saying. It's like she has a husband, I guess, but I guess not. I don't know if this is like a millennial problem of like women being married to men they don't like respect or like listen to. I don't know what the issue is, because I thought the issue was no husband, no kids. Now I'm like, okay, well, that isn't solving it. So maybe there's another problem. Oh, so now women want protectors. Ask the bear. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they don't want providers and protect. Again, anytime a woman is telling you what a real man would do, it has nothing to do with what a real man would do. It's just what benefits her. Remember that. So when she's taught, she doesn't actually want a provider and a protector and a leader. She doesn't want to be led, because she doesn't want to have to listen. Because honestly, if she did want to be led by her husband, and her husband says, don't worry about it, calm down, you're overreacting, she's supposed to be like, okay, I trust you, and keep it pushing. But she's not doing that. So that isn't what she wants. What she wants is for her husband to do whatever she wants him to do. And she's going to use shaming tactics by being like, you're not a protector, you're not a provider unless you do what I want. Remember, anytime a woman is telling you to do what a real man would do, or to, fulfill your role in some way, what she really says is do what I want. Do what benefits me. It has nothing to do whatsoever with what a real man would do or not. It's completely independent of that. If it aligns with what a real man would do, that's purely by accident. Go ahead.
You are failing to protect them, because even if it doesn't get worse, let's play that out. Mm-hmm. Your partner, your wife, your girlfriend is now always going to remember that when she was scared and she looked to you for leadership and support, you brushed her off. Why doesn't really even matter.
Because you're being retarded. Right. So if you came to me and you were like, hey, Theo, let's say I have a wife, right? And she comes to me and she says, Theo, husband, daddy, I'm scared. And I say, what's wrong, baby? And she says, daddy, I'm scared that the hot spider lady from James and the Giant Peach is going to come to life and rape me. I'm going to say, well, that's probably not going to happen, sweetheart. You probably don't need to worry about that. Go have a taco and a cup of coffee and get back to me. See if you feel better. Right? Am I brushing her off? Or am I clarifying that threat exists only in her mind? It's not real. Because sometimes women get anxious about stuff that's real, and sometimes they get anxious about stuff that's completely made up, that doesn't even matter at all. And it's a pretty good mix of both, if we're being honest. Right? So, yeah, so he actually did his job. She just didn't like it, and she doesn't respect him enough to listen to him. So, I mean, this is a problem of, I don't know if and look, I haven't met the guy. I'm assuming since she's a dumpy looking millennial that her husband is a dumpy looking millennial too. And he's just like probably one of these wears pajamas and watches Rick and Morty all day type millennials. Like he's probably not a man who demonstrates any discernible masculine traits, because she selected a man who is like sensitive and who like understands my humor and can like buy me pads on my period. Like she wasn't looking for like a masculine man. And now she's like upset because she doesn't have the security that comes with being attached to a masculine man. So it's like she wants him to have traits that she did not select him for. And I wonder how many women are in that situation now where they married or chose to partner with weak men, and they have to deal with the consequences of that, which is feeling really unsafe when the world starts to go to shit. And also, like, a lot of women, we're finding this out, have just absolutely terrible threat assessment. Just terrible threat assessment. They have no ability to correctly evaluate risk. I mean, well, what's her face who got shot clearly didn't realize she was in any danger of getting shot, or she would have acted very differently, despite the fact that she was surrounded by armed federal agents. By the way, I just want to reiterate this. Anytime you are surrounded by armed men and you are antagonizing them, there's a really good chance you're going to get shot. And that's true in any context, anywhere, anytime in world history, anytime, anywhere in the world. There's a really good chance if you're surrounded by armed men and you antagonize them that you might get shot. Just a heads up in case you were thinking about doing it. Don't. Ooh, Full Metal Nate is here. What's up, buddy? Stuck at work when it's supposed to be my day off. At least the tears of retards will keep me entertained. Yeah, man. Yeah. You can't fail to protect someone from a threat that doesn't exist. Bingo. Yes, that's actually a really important point. So sometimes protecting and providing and being the steward of your wife's emotional well-being is telling her that the threat in her imagination is not actually real and she doesn't need to worry about it. And if she doesn't listen to you when you say that, then she doesn't trust you. So this is a lack of trust. It's like him not doing what you want isn't a sign of him failing in his duty if what you want him to do is retarded. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not good. Like, it's not good. Like, if we had the, like, again, if your concern is that the hot spider lady from James and the Giant Peach is going to come to life and like skull fuck you in your sleep, then that's not a real thing that's going to happen. By the way, just so you guys know what I'm talking about, because I can already tell some of you are not. Let's see if I can pull this up. This hot spider, like, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick so you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's see. There we go. That's the hot spider lady from James the Giant Peach. Hold on. I'm gonna. Beep. How do I make myself smaller? There we go. Let's. Hold on. I'm gonna make this bigger. That's the hot spider lady from James the Giant Peach, by the way. There you go. Just so you guys know. Anyway, the point is, this chick is retarded. And the stuff that she's afraid of is not real. Is not real. Right? That's important. That's the part. That's what's like. So if I tell you the shit's not real, then you just gotta, if you don't trust me, that's fine. Anyway, this is a, yes, it is this. Same show to hear me out. Yes, hear me out. No, wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait, hear me out. No, did you see the spider lady? Hold on. Did you see the hold on. Did you see the spider lady? Look at the spider lady. You guys telling me you're not, you guys telling me that's a no for you. Really? You guys really telling me that's a no for you? Okay. All right. Whatever. You guys are weird. You guys are the weird ones. I'm normal. You guys are the weird ones. French Revolutionary Spider is hot. According to Weasel, I can fix her. Weasel, she's passionate. All 8 legs and heeled boots. See, Strider gets it. Strider understands me. You guys get it. Let's keep going. I don't want to get too sidetracked on this. You can never talk about any bag of a problem. I disagree. That is 3D animation or claymation. That's not hentai. That's a different thing. Go ahead.
So what if it never happens? So what if it never comes to your doorstep? It will. But what's the worst that could happen by actually engaging with her and strategizing with her and, I don't know, showing up as an actual partner to her?
Yeah, so placating your wife's delusions and validating your wife's delusions can have disastrous consequences, because if you validate your wife's delusions, then she might go into the streets and try to fight an ICE agent because she thinks that it's actual Hitler instead of like federal agents deporting criminals from the country, which is what's actually happening. So as far as the Spider Lady is concerned, I'll see you in Valhalla, brothers. You guys get me. You know, at least fantasize about the giant vampire lady from RE8 like the rest of us. Oh. Hey, listen, I'm not going to hate on the vampire lady from Resident Evil 8 either. I mean, that's, you know, what I'm saying. Like, the point is the spider lady's not going to come to life and rape you. That was the point of the metaphor. Anyway, go ahead.
Because she will remember that. She will also remember what you're saying now. And if you want to be looked at as the leader of your family, as the protector of your family, as a provider of your family, you have to actually lead, provide, and protect.
I know, but if you want a leader, provider, and protector, then you have to listen to what he says. And you have to do what he says. Right? Like, it's not on him. It's on you to actually follow what he says. Right? It's on you to what he said. Poor Strider, finding out for the first time that the spider lady from James and the Giant Peach is not real, and that she's not going to break into his room in the middle of the night and rape him. Poor guy. I hate to break your heart, buddy. I'm sorry. I know it's a stressful time out there. I know we can really use it. Theo Strider's weird for taking Mrs. Incredible. Also, the spider lady from James and the Giant Peach. Hear me out. What's wrong with that? Guys, I think we're getting way too focused on how hot the spider lady is. I think you guys are ignoring the important substance of this political commentary that I'm offering. I think we're getting too wrapped around the axle about the spider lady. Is Theo actually Oppenheimer reincarnated and he just wants to bone commies? Yes, big time. Yeah, okay. Can I tell you something? So I was thinking about this the other day. One of the very first stories in the Bible after the creation of the world is about how women are easy to lie to, and it's your fault if your wife gets brainwashed. Like, that's what Adam and Eve is about. Is like, so Eve talks to the serpent, and the serpent is like, here, take this. And it's like, well, God told me not to. And it's like, but I'm telling you to do it. And she's like, okay. And so she does it. And then Adam does it too. And then when God's like, hey, what the fuck, guys? I told you not to do that. Adam's like, well, she did it. And it's like, nah, bro, that's your fault. So I do feel like we have a certain responsibility to like unbrainwash the women of our generation. I do feel a certain responsibility to that. And then in Al Pacino's voice defending Mrs. Incredible, she's got a great ass. Strider, you're a fucking mess. Oh, man. You guys are great. I love the chat. Today. This has been a great chat. Oh, man. But yeah, I do feel a certain obligation to like, because I mean, look how unhappy they are. I do feel a certain, as much like work as it is to try to, and the truth is the liberal ones are really like not less obnoxious than the based ones. Because at the end of the day, based or lefty, it doesn't fucking matter. She's still a fucking woman. Right? So she's still going to be annoying as fuck. There's not going to be any that are like actually like palatable or cool or fun to hang out with. They're just going to be, it's going to be the same shit anyway. So you might as well fucking try to save America. The problem is, like, the reality is if you impregnate one of these broads, there's a good chance she might abort it or try to trans the kid. And remember, because she's a lefty, she doesn't believe that she needs to consult you before she does either of those things. She believes that she can abort whatever the fuck she wants to abort, regardless of what you say. And she believes that that trans is an innate identity. And so if she believes the child is trans, then it is trans, and that's just how it is. And it doesn't matter if it's 2 years old or what. Yeah. Obligation to society. But have you seen Spider-Woman from James and the Giant Peach? I'm saying though. Bro, come on. How are we not on the same page on this? It's like, I thought you guys were, I don't know how we're not on the same page on this. That's like an obvious one. To me, anyway. That's an obvious one. Anyway, let's see what other videos I have pulled up. Oh, this one was This one is an excruciating watch. So let's get through this together. I believe in us. I think we can do it. And this gets back to, this is something I heard some of the fellas talking about. This needs to be your next short. I agree. We gotta get whoever does clipping. Arza, you're watching this in post. We gotta clip that up and turn that into a short. That's pretty funny. All right, so one of the things that I hear from a lot of Gen Z guys that's very weird is they'll say something like, when I was in high school, all the girls wanted to talk about was politics. And what I talk about with like millennial guys, that sounds fucking weird to us. Because when I was in high school, politics was a very niche interest. It was like me and one other guy with a pocket protector who liked politics. And everybody else, like, you were a nerd if you liked politics. It was off-putting. If you wanted women to just walk away from you, you talked about politics. It was just a great way to push women away. And women were the people who were interested in politics. It was about 80% men, 20% women, and it was maybe like 5% of the teenagers. The rest of them cared about other stuff that was like age appropriate. So the facts of that, like, women are as interested in politics as they are, to the point that they will that they're of obsessing about it, is very new and very unique to this period of history. Very unique to this period of history. Not similar. I don't know of other not that there aren't historical parallels, just not that immediately spring to mind. So yeah, now we're in the midst of this kind of like, white feather campaign where women are basically like not gonna fuck you. They're engaging in like lysistratic protest where they're basically just like not gonna fuck you unless you profess to be a communist, which is very weird. Anyway, let's see. We're still talking. Theo loves spider pussy. There's Tile. Thanks, Nate. I wonder if the spider chick is pro invading Iran. That's a good question. Are we just stuck on spider chick now? I don't think we're moving off spider chick. That's fine. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this girl.
I love the misconception when people are like, well, I just don't like talking about politics. Diva, me neither. I have so many other things I'd rather talk about. Gosh, like, I want to talk about traders. I want to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I want to talk about Caleb Williams. I want to talk about literally anything else. But my wants and needs live here. And the ultimate responsibility for those who cannot speak for themselves, for those who are being targeted, rests so much higher than that. How inappropriate would it be to say, I don't want to talk about politics?
Can you imagine having a 20-minute conversation with this person? Can you imagine having like a 20-minute discussion with this person where she tries to tell you what you're wrong about? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then imagine if that conversation had to happen as a pretext for like, raw dogging her in like a Chipotle bathroom or something. Horrible. 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 There's no raw dogging in the world that is worth that kind of torture. Go ahead.
You don't want to talk about someone's livelihood, someone's life being jeopardized
Not
due to
remotely.
the governmental bodies that we all exist under.
Not interested.
Wow.
It's not, bear in mind, it's not that I don't want to talk about those things. It's that I don't care about your opinion. Like, I don't care about her opinion at all, because if I want to know what her opinion is, I could just watch TikTok for 20 minutes and I'd basically know it. Right? Like, she is not a person who's capable of independent thought. She's just repeating what she heard on TikTok. Like, she's hooked up into like the estrogen hive mind. Right? And she just is repeating what every other woman on planet Earth that's her age thinks right now. It's a really fucking awful thing about talking to women now. It's like, if you want to know what they think about stuff, you can usually say, let me guess, and you can figure out pretty much all of it. Like, if you're it's just whatever shit lib talking points are popular right now. Like, trans rights are human rights. Trans women are women. My body, my choice. Immigrants belong here. It's just whatever shitlib talking points are popular. You know who doesn't have shitlib talking points? I hate to bring this up again, but the hot spider lady from James the Giant Peach. She doesn't have shitlib talking points. She's a genuine revolutionary. She's intellectually principled. You know what? When was the last time you guys watched James and the Giant Peach? You guys are attacking me for this. When was the last time you actually watched the movie? Okay, I'm telling you. It's like there's a lot. Hi, buddy. There's a lot to it, I'm saying. Anyway, let's wrap up this video, and then the chat is happening again. So we gotta.
What a deplorable thing to think. Oh, you don't want
Shaming tactics.
to talk about it.
No, I don't want to talk about it with you because I don't think you have real opinions. I don't think you're capable of independent thought. I don't think you have free will the same way I have free will. And the fact that you have learned to speak is not evidence of you learning to think. Hold on. I have to let this dog outside or he's going to make noise.
The thing.
Not even my dog, by the way. I'm just a nice guy. Not even my dog, by the way. I'm just a nice person. All right. Go ahead.
That you should realize is that the privilege to not have to talk about it will only be revoked when you have to experience it, and the road typically leads to the other.
Okay, do you see how that sentence didn't really make sense? That's because she didn't think of it herself. She's trying to repeat something someone else said, and she can't remember the exact words. So she doesn't have independent thoughts. She's just repeating shit that other people said on TikTok. Right? And that's why I don't want to talk about it with her. Is because she doesn't have her own opinions. She doesn't have independent thoughts. She doesn't have like real agency. She should be like making banana bread for a gaggle of children right now, but she's not doing that. We put her in some kind of like, corporate daycare job. And anyway, let's look at the chat real quick. It's just like, I think, let's see. Theo used to be an estrogen hive mind tourist. That's true. She's on the web, you might say. IRL, this chick is just being passed around by black dudes that have no interest in speaking to her between, I can tell. Yeah, that's probably true. That's why her eyes are so vacant. It's just getting ran through. Who decided that they didn't have a voice? What makes her the authority with the expertise necessary to speak on behalf of people who didn't ask for her help? That's a great question, Weasel. It is because she is a white woman. And there's nothing white women do better than get offended on other people's behalf. That is their specialty, is to get offended on behalf of other people who did not ask for their help and did not ask for their opinions. That's what they do. That's what they do. They get offended on behalf of other people, and then they go out and they make it about them. Because that's what she's actually doing here, is she's like centering herself in the discussion. That's what's actually happening right now. And see, she doesn't understand how like selfish it is. And bear in mind, look at this. She's playing with her hair. She's preening. She's centered on her face. Her eyebrows are done. Her makeup is done. She's moisturized. The lighting is perfect. This is an opportunity for her to be, and she's looking at her own face. This is an opportunity for her to like stare in the mirror and pontificate. This is an exercise in narcissism. What she's doing right now. This is not her. She's acting like she's being selfish, like she's honoring some sacred call, like she has some sacred obligation to speak up on behalf of marginalized people. And that's not at all what's happening. She's engaging in like masturbatory narcissism, where she's just intellectually like beating off while staring at her own reflection. This is like Mouse Utopia. Look up Mouse Utopia, by the way. We're going to have to do a whole episode on the Mouse Utopia experiment, honestly. Not enough people know about that. And it's highly relevant to what's going on now. Google Mouse Utopia right now. As soon as the show's over. We got 30 minutes left. Open it in a new tab. Google Mouse Utopia. And look that shit up, because that's important. his long hair gives him the slight ability to jack into the hive mind. That's actually true. Like I have there's a certain like androgyny to my personality that allows me to connect with women in a way that for most men is impossible. Final transition. Yeah, I did kind of come back with the top rope and bring it back around to the spider chick from James the Giant Peach, which I regret nothing about that, by the way. That was great. I'm glad I brought it up. At least you didn't shock it. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. So, yeah, so this is like, but this is what I'm saying is a lot of Gen Z women are kind of in this category, and like a lot of millennial women are kind of in that category too, where they're just like excruciating to talk to because all they want to talk about is politics. I think that's something that a lot of guys who are like maybe 40 plus, maybe they've been married for a while, or even guys who are like millennials who've been married, like, and they're not in the streets, like they don't understand the degree to which, because a lot of times if you're on a date, you don't want to talk, you just talked about politics way later. A lot of people were not that passionate about it. They didn't really care. Voting patterns kind of was like, it was like whatever. It was just like not a central thing that people use to decide their relationships. There's a lot more important things with value. And I do think how you vote kind of flows from your values, but there's a lot more important values questions. Like, how do you want to like raise children is way more important than do you check the D or the R? Are you on the blue team or the red team? And the fact that there's like two teams and you have to pick a team is crazy. And that doesn't really tell you anything about like the person's values. You know, it does a little bit, but like not as much as you think, because our politics now isn't based on values. It's based on vibes. It's based on like how we feel emotionally in the moment. And it's like she feels that it's like mean that ICE agents are, you know, like kicking people out of the country because that feels mean, because it feels like not everyone's being included. You got to think. So she has the politics of like, she sees America as a big kindergarten classroom where everyone needs to have the same number of fruit snacks. That's how she views it. Okay. And so her view of because women are only really supposed to be in charge of children. They're not supposed to have influence in how the world works at all. Like, because they just don't have the cognitive bandwidth for it. So she thinks of the world as a big kindergarten classroom, and her job is to make sure everyone has the same number of fruit snacks. And that's how she thinks about America, as a big kindergarten classroom. And ICE is trying to say that the Somalis are not allowed to have fruit snacks. And she's saying, no, ICE, you have to share your fruit snacks with the Somalis. You have to share. We all have to share fruit snacks. So we all have the same number. And she doesn't understand that there's like more complexity to it than that, because she doesn't have the cognitive bandwidth to process that. And TikTok didn't tell her that. Remember, she's just repeating what she heard on TikTok. So not good. Not good. Not good. And so unfortunately, this is the most politically engaged demographic. This is probably the demographic with the most influence over our politics. You know, and remember, the issues they care the most about in the world are being able to murder their children in the womb and being able to be naked in public and being able to be as promiscuous as they want without consequences, restricting the free speech of other people. They care about that, and making sure that mongrels can come and live here and rape to their heart's content. Muhammad bin Rapistan needs to come here as much as he wants and rape as much as he wants without getting in trouble, and steal as much money from the government as he wants without getting in trouble, and being able to like marry his cousin or whatever without getting in trouble. Because it's mean to get him in trouble, because if you're getting him in trouble, you're saying he can't have as much fruit snacks as the white guy whose ancestors built this country. Speaking of white guys whose ancestors built this country, B.S. Warren is here. What's up, buddy? Friend of the channel, B.S. Warren. Make sure to check out his fiction. Let's see. From desk to the door, Somalis should not live here anymore. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. It's like women can't form rational thoughts. Aristotle, probably. Yeah. 100%. That's foundational to Western civilization, bro. It really is. Like if we went and talked to the founding fathers and we were like, yeah, we let 18-year-old women vote in this country, they'd be like, you what? You let all the women vote? What? Are you out of your fucking minds? Like they would have thought it was crazy to let like everybody, but like there was more like people who knew what the fuck was going on were the only people who were supposed to be able to vote, right? And now like anybody can just like vote, just like whatever, and most people have no idea what the fuck is going on at all. They have no ability to analyze trends. They have no knowledge of history. They have they just vote for like whoever says they're going to give them free Pringles or like whoever's hot or whatever. That's who they vote for. It's retarded. It's like you could not think of a more retarded system. It's crazy because we had a very brilliant system as laid out in the Constitution. And now the implementation is just so retarded. It beggars belief. Yeah. I don't know what to do about it. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys this. So this is just in case so we don't lose track of what this fight is about. So Nick Shirley released another video. This is the second. This is not from the first Somali fraud video. This is from the second one. And this is kind of an interaction that's getting passed around between him and one of the Somalis as he went back to some of the places and was kind of like filming around, trying to collect more footage. So let's go ahead and check this out. Let's see how this goes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud. This fraud.
Absolutely has to do with.
So his case is fraud is bad. Let's see how the Somalis respond to that.
Us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying that.
No.
We're not saying that.
When I go
Sir,
onto
we're
your
talking
comments,
about fraud. You're talking.
When I go onto your comments,
my comments.
What I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You're preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like the Japanese.
See, okay, so what's crazy? He didn't invent these talking points. This is important. He didn't invent those talking points. He's repeating lefty shitlib talking points. So some white woman told him to say that. Iron Oxide, friend of the channel, he is saying that. He actually is proposing that. Nick Shirley's not saying that. We probably are. Yeah. I do think we need to kick the Somalis out of the country for sure. They need to go. They do need to go. But it's not about them. It's not about them like being African necessarily. It's about the fact that they do not have the ability to integrate into our culture and become contributors. Like they don't have the ability, like they don't have the IQ to understand what's going on here. They do not share our values. That's the thing. I have a chart here. Hold on. Do I still have the chart? I might have gotten rid of the chart. Okay. I'm gonna have to pull up the chart another time. But basically, we have this terrible idea in this culture that Western values are universal. And there's a tiny percentage of the people on planet Earth that believe Western values. Everybody else is like ethno-nationalist and believes that their group is the best and they should kick everybody else's ass if given the opportunity. Like people who believe in like liberalism and equality and freedom for other people and rights for free speech and all this stuff. There's a tiny percentage of I wish I had a chart earlier. This would be a great time to use the chart. Damn it. That's fine. I'll get it next time. The chart. Anyway, doesn't matter. It would rely on everyone knowing how to read a bell curve. Let's see if I can find it. But yeah, it's like the whole point of this is that the reason they can't be here is because they don't share our values. They don't want to integrate. They're just here to steal stuff. And that would be true regardless of what they happen to look like or where they happen to be from. It just so happens that they're from a culture that believes, scamming is not wrong, lying is not wrong, doing whatever it takes to conquer other people is totally justified. And this is what I'm talking about when you talk about if you're trying to be nice and you encounter somebody who is trying to, waffle stomp you and you're trying to be nice, then the person who's trying to waffle stomp you is going to win. Right? At some point, we need to set hard boundaries. And it may be like we had this rule for a long time that anybody from anywhere can come here. And that was fine when they were coming here to work and contribute. Because then it's like anybody who wants to work. And if it's too hard to work and contribute, then, can't come here. The problem is now we have a massive welfare state. That's the issue. So because we have a massive welfare state, a lot of people are coming here and they are just becoming leeches. They're just drains on the system, and they're just sucking up resources. They're putting an inordinate amount of pressure on the people who are contributors, right? They're putting an inordinate amount of pressure on the people who do pay into the system. And then the people who contribute nothing are just taking a bunch out of it. And here we go. Here's the chart I wanted to show you guys. Yeah. All right. So this is a bell curve. So this right here is most of the world, and the majority of their opinions are over here. This over here is the majority of opinions in the West. And as you can see, only a tiny percentage of the people in the rest of the world share our opinions. That's this little red fucking bar down here. These are people, a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of people agree with us. Here, I'm going to blow this up so we can see it. A tiny, over here, a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of people agree with us the way we think over here. Most of the rest of the world does not. That's why we can't just let anybody come here, right? Because they're going to come here and they're going to bring their values and their way of life with them, and they're going to try to make it like that here because they don't agree with the way we do things here. Some people do come here, honestly, because they agree with how we do things and they want to be a part of the country. Other people do not, and we need to be kind of selective about the people we let in, okay? That is a necessary thing. That's required. It can't be any other way, or we're going to lose our civilization. Anyway, so let's see who else is here. He's right. We want the sand people out. I said that 20 years ago. Savage Dad, always ahead of the curve. There are no Somali emigres. They are installed by Obama for the purpose of permanent demographic change. Yeah, a lot of this is Hawks versus Pigeons game theory. For real. And this is what I'm saying is like, a lot of this was like short-sighted and based on like people believing in the blank slate and believing like, oh, well, we can just create a permanent voter base in some of these places. We can significantly boost the size of boost the representation with some of these blue cities by just like importing a bunch of people and they'll vote for us. So who cares? And that was extremely short-sighted. It was extremely short-sighted because now there's been, significant demographic shift. Now, some people are arguing that demographic shift was the point, and the point is to demoralize the population and make them easier to control and increase the internal squabbling so they can't focus on how badly they're being fucked by the globalist elites who run everything. Some people are saying that. So that could be part of the point. But anyway, God bless Nick Shirley for being like on the ground and like asking difficult questions. Go ahead. Let's see how he proceeds to handle this interaction. Go ahead.
Community. All right. You're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right.
Sir,
Something that
answer
can
the
listen.
question. Where is the transportation
something that can
company?
jeopardize
answer the question.
Safety.
Honestly, dude, if you were running a legitimate business and somebody came to you and said, "How's your business work?" you could just tell them. Like if you came and asked me like about what stand-up comedy I do, I could pull up my calendar and I could show you videos of me doing stand-up comedy, and I could pull up my calendar. I could show you where I'm going to be next. I could show you my bank account and you would see that it was empty, which is proof that I do stand-up comedy. You see what I'm saying? Like it would not be that hard. Like I wouldn't be like, how dare you? How dare you? You're inciting racism against hot blonde guys. Anyway, go ahead.
And the protection of the Somali
fraud.
community.
We're talking
If
about fraud.
anything happens to the Somali
We're talking
community,
about fraud.
listen, I'm not doing anything. I'm
I
not
know.
physically touching
You're
her.
getting very close.
I'm not physically touching her. No, I'm not physically touching her.
This is fraud.
He knows. See, some lefty shitlib told him how to operate to make himself maximally obnoxious without getting into real trouble. I'm saying it is not the natural way that Somalis operate is with fucking machetes. So the fact that he knows to call him a racist and not touch him, and he knows that he can yell at a white person as much as he wants, that's lefty shitlib bullshit. I'm telling him, somebody trained him to act like this. Somebody taught him this. So I'm telling you, this is not just the Somalians. We got to figure out who local to Minnesota, what group funded by whom taught these people to act like this and taught these people to take advantage of the system in this way. Because they did not come up with this idea on their own.
We're talking about fraud. You're defending fraud.
When I go into your comments,
you're defending fraud.
People who hate Muslims want us out of here
people can say
for
what they
being
want.
Muslim.
I'm not censoring
are
anybody.
using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us, we don't want you here. Change the Constitution. But guess what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
You know,
fraud.
We're
asking about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I hate Muslims. We're talking about fraud. We're talking about fraud.
Why are you attacking us?
This
are we
is
the
fraud.
only community?
Because it's fraud.
Because of fraud?
We're talking about fraud.
Are we the only community that does fraud? Are we the only community?
Bro, you're doing fraud. Bro, you're doing fraud. That's it. Like, you're doing fraud and you got caught and now somebody's calling you out for it. That's what happened. Like, it's not even complicated. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Are you guys, like, I'll ask the chat because you guys are pretty anti-Muslim here. Are you guys psyched about white people who do fraud? Like, imagine this whole thing, instead of Somalis, it was like Danish immigrants. And they were doing the same fraud. And they were being just as retarded. Would you guys, and they admitted it, like Strider's saying, they just admitted it. There you go. So it's like, if you had Danish immigrants here, all white people who were behaving in exactly the same way, would you be upset about it? Or would you be like, no, that's fine because these are whites doing it? Yeah, here's Nate making the right point. You want me to quit hating you? Stop using your religion as justification for your fucked up behavior and be a decent human. Yeah, you got to follow the rules here, guys. That's the point. Is like, if you're going to come here as an immigrant, you have to assimilate to our society and you got to follow the rules. That's the whole argument. That's it. Just follow the rules. And if you're defrauding the government, it's like, it's not mean of being like, I'm not an asshole for pointing out that you're committing fraud against the government and you're getting billions in taxpayer dollars. Like, that's crazy. And some of it is going back to Somalia to fund terrorism. Are you fucking serious? Like, how am I the asshole for pointing it out? That's crazy. I still be mad about it, but less so because they don't do it as a matter of course as an entire culture. Yeah, I think that's the issue, is that, like, the fact is some folks are, and this is that's why we pulled up the chart earlier. It's like the way the majority of the rest of the world does not give a fuck about our values. Our values are not shared, and they're not going to adopt our values when they get here. They're going to bring their values with them. So we got to let in people who already share our values, or else the country is not going to work. And by the way, that's the way it is with every other country. And by the way, there's no other country do we have the same judgmental attitude when they try to enforce their immigration laws? Like, when Japan tries to enforce its immigration laws, everybody thinks that's totally fine. Like, everybody's like, yeah, that makes sense. It's just when we do it here that they try to pull bullshit. Anyway.
Yeah, does this.
This is about fraud.
This is a long fucking video, by the way.
Somali
this is fraud.
All of Minnesota?
There's actually 800. So transportation companies.
The security doesn't even speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a race issue, sir. This is about fraud.
We have, what, 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a...
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Okay,
you want to sacrifice the safety of 80,000 people
we're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers? Are you fucking mad? Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid. Where's the transportation company?
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota?
Yeah, they're not asking. He's not answering any of the questions. He's just calling him racist and stupid and just getting mad. Like, he's not answering any of the questions. It's like, it would be very simple if he was running a legitimate business. You could just show him that you're running a legitimate business. It'd be super simple. But he's not doing that. He's just like being a hysterical retard. He's just chipping out over here. And by the way, this is what happens when you import third world people, is you get third world behavior. Sorry, like, these people are not here to integrate and to be like a contributing citizens in America. That's not what they're for. It's not why they're here. They've made choices. Like, they've decided to defraud the government. And now they have to leave. That's that simple. Like, it's like, if you came here and played by the rules, there's a lot of people who come here and play by the rules and they don't have to leave. That's what happens.
It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley.
They should probably just, like, hire an attorney, right? Like, they should probably do that instead of just, like, yelling, because he's being recorded right now. So this is like this clip has gone like turbo viral on X. So a lot of people are seeing this right? So this is like not good representation. They should definitely hire a fucking lawyer to speak on their behalf. They're doing a terrible job representing themselves. If your goal is to convince them that they haven't figured you out and that you aren't committing fraud, you're doing a terrible job.
This
is about fraud.
One single Somali gets hurt.
This is about fraud.
this conversation would hit so much harder if he was yelling in Somali. Yeah, probably. I bet you it would.
You sensationalizes, you son of a bitch. Sensationalizes.
Wow, you're very
nice. Get the fuck
nice.
out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get the fuck out of our
Sir,
neighborhood.
can you tell me where the transportation company
Get the fuck out
is?
of our neighborhood. We don't want you here. Get the fuck out of here. Calm down, sir.
Calm down, sir.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sir, this is about fraud.
You wanted clicks?
You're
You got clicks.
sensationalizing yourself,
You
sir.
wanted clicks?
You're sensationalizing yourself.
Clicks. You wanted clicks?
Oh, man.
You wanted YouTube?
Tell me where
I
the
hope he does.
transportation vehicle is.
Clicks. You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the transportation
Get the fuck
vehicle
out of our
is.
community.
Tell me where
Uh-oh.
this is about fraud.
By the way, this is what ICE is taking care of. This is what ICE is getting out of the country. And by the way, this is what like random lefty shitlib white women are literally dying in the street to protect. Is this shit right here? This is what lefty, shitlib white women are willing to die for. And they're shaming you because you're not willing to die to keep this guy in the country. That's why they're shaming you. They're attacking you. They think you're a bad person because you're not willing to die in the street for this motherfucker to stay in the country. By the way, this motherfucker who hates you, hates your culture, thinks you're garbage, thinks it's okay to come to your country and plunder and steal and conquer. That's what he thinks about you. He thinks that you're garbage, but he thinks that you, he thinks you're garbage, but shitlib white women think that you should be willing to die in the street so that he can stay here.
This is say I don't want
this
Muslims
is about
here.
fraud.
Say I don't want Muslims here. Say it. Say I want to change the constitution.
No, I don't
and
want to change the
freedom of
constitution.
religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in this country. You have to take the passport away from me. That is what you are
Sir,
arguing for.
we're not talking.
Change the constitution.
This is about fraud.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Not for nothing, but somebody really should take that guy's passport. Go ahead.
Fuck out of our community.
This is about fraud.
Fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Tell me where the transportation company is then.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obviously, for this video, we had to get security because look at this now. All right, we're going. We're going.
Bro, good for him, because that's a fucking wild response. That's crazy that that's happening in an American city. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, this guy has more guts than me. I'd only be able to take this yelling in my face BS so much before laying this big ass out. Yeah, dude. It's tough. It's amazing that this confrontation didn't get it. And thank God security was there. I think bringing security was really smart because that probably helped de-escalate the situation. Because I bet you if he was there by himself, he probably would have just got jumped. See, we should apply for jobs at these fraudulent companies and then sue them for discrimination. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, I don't think they're hiring anybody outside the Somali community. There's a reason the Dems pick the Somalis. They get the race and religion card, but they are also 100% disposable in their opinion. Yeah, that's the thing, is that the Democrats have this terrible habit of like getting a minority group on their side. They did this with black people in like Black Lives Matter was the hot thing. And then when that was no longer politically expedient and all that fraud and stuff kind of got revealed, they jettisoned black people and hopped over to trans people. And by the way, they also jettisoned gay people to prioritize trans people over gay people. And they made trans people like the most important possible issue. And now they've basically just like, now that trans people have become way less politically expedient and that issue has become kind of a loser for them and become wildly unpopular, now they're focusing on like immigration. And like Iron is saying here, the Somalis are completely disposable. Like all they're focusing on is look how mean and bad ICE agents are. ICE agents are mean and bad. They're kidnapping people off the street. Not true. They're separating people from their families. They're disappearing people. They're sending people to concentration camps. They're harassing citizens when they should only be harassing, immigrants or whatever. Like all this stuff is just like fucking, all this stuff is like, first of all, really unhelpful. And and made up. And they're not doing it because they care about Somalis. They're doing it because they want shitlib white women to vote for them. They want shitlib white women to be really scared and vote for them. Like, they don't give a shit about Somalis at all. They don't care at all. They don't care about the fraud because they're benefiting from the fraud. I mean, we haven't fully unraveled the paper trail here, but I guarantee you there are Democrats in Minnesota who are benefiting from this fraud. Maybe Republicans too, who knows? But definitely Democrats are benefiting from this fraud on some way. So this is just all, a money laundering scheme, and they're using the Somalis as like disposable cannon fodder. And the shitlib Karen white women, they're using them as disposable cannon fodder. The fact that they're frontline people, they're frontline warriors in this war on common sense, are women with children, just shows you how they feel about the people that they supposedly represent. They don't respect those people at all. They don't value those people's lives at all, because otherwise they wouldn't have them there.
But there is no transportation company in there. Fraud. There were no transportation companies.
No, none.
This isn't about race. This isn't against religion. This is about fraud. We're fighting fraud here. We're not fighting a race.
Well, and this is what happens when you put a spotlight on fraud. The people who are benefiting become extremely violent, and the Somalis are the most violent people I have ever met in my whole life.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Anyway, but let's tune in. This was at, I think this was at the Golden Globes. This was some celebrity award show. And this is that one girl from fucking Orange is the New Black. Anyway, she had a pre-written speech that she read. Mark Ruffalo was the most insufferable of these people. I don't think I have the Mark Ruffalo clip, but this I popped up. This is the chick from Orange is the New Black. And she had something that she read to remember Renee Good when this broad was interviewing her. So remember, this person who no one cares what she thinks about any subject at all, what she does professionally is stand in front of a camera and read things that other people wrote, right? That's what she does professionally. Anyway, so she's going to stand in front of a camera and read something someone else wrote. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Be good. This week, an American citizen was killed by ICE, and I can't be here and pretend like that's normal. It's an invitation to everyone who is watching. If you're concerned you're not alone, together we can stop the violence of and be good. That's a hashtag in honor of Renee Macklin Good. It's about basic decency. Our friends, family, and neighbors are being targeted, gunned down.
Her friends, family, and neighbors are being targeted and gunned down, apparently. Tough. Hard out here for a pimp. Go ahead.
And killed in our community.
Bear by, this is a celebrity awards show. She's surrounded by millionaires. Go ahead.
Okay, here in America, and it's unacceptable. So
That fabric she's wearing costs more than your rent. Go ahead.
I'm wearing this Ice Out pin here. Because I don't want us to forget about Renee Macklin Good. I want us
And she remembers it so well that she had to write it down so she didn't forget. Go ahead.
to honor her humanity. We shouldn't forget about Keith Porter and everyone else who has been killed by ICE. We can't forget any of them. That we should all agree on.
Was Keith Porter, was that the guy who was like shooting in the air? Hold on. Let's figure out who Keith Porter is. Yeah, that was the guy who was like shooting a gun in the air and then pointed it at ICE agents and got shot. That's what happens. Like, what do you... That's what happens. Like, just, God, these people are retarded. They're just, what's crazy is like they don't know anything. And because they have a big platform, other people will listen to them and they'll just put out more bad information.
3 children lost their mother this week. I want Renee's family and all the families who've been hurt by ICE violence to know that they are not alone. I want to make sure that we don't just move on from this horrific loss of life that just happened. It's on all of us to stay engaged, seek accountability, and to keep each other safe. In this country that I love and I do, I mean that. Be good. This week in America.
Wow. Okay. So this is what your celebrities think of you. They think that you're retarded and they think that they know enough to tell you what to do. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that the best thing? Isn't that, I gotta say, the best thing I love about like movies and television is when the people who make movies and television think that they're well positioned to tell me how to live and what to do. That's my favorite thing about celebrities is when they tell me stuff. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? When people have no idea what the fuck is going on, deign to tell you how to live. Isn't that awesome? I don't think they understand. I don't know how they could not understand that when they do shit like this, it only fills us with resentment. This virtue signaling just fills people with resentment. They fucking hate it. Like, I am absolutely sick to shit of hearing from these people. Absolutely sick to shit of hearing from these people. I'm done. I don't want to listen to them anymore. They don't know anything, and they have nothing but time on their hands. They have a bunch of time and money and a bunch of people paying attention to them. So they think that they're important, but they're actually not. And they're filled with this deep, vacuous emptiness, right? Because they know that they're not important. They know that they don't do anything that deserves the amount of attention and money they get, and yet they have it anyway. So they feel the need to do something. Somebody like Mark Ruffalo is a perfect example of this. He's just, let's see if I can find that Mark Ruffalo video, by the way, while we're talking about it, because that's such a funny one. I bookmarked that, but I didn't pull it up for this because I didn't think about it. But let's see if we can find. Where are you, Mark Ruffalo? Where are you? Let's see. Yeah, he's just like a perennial retard. And oh, there we go. I found it. Okay, this is him talking about all the pins he's wearing.
Who are terrorized and scared today. I know I'm one of them. I
Hold
love
on.
this
Boop.
country and what I'm seeing.
Let's go ahead and start from the beginning. He's wearing a pin. Go ahead.
This is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today. I know I'm one of them. I love this country and what I'm seeing.
He's terrorized and scared, guys. You won't like him when he's terrorized and scared. You're welcome. That was a free one, by the way.
In here happening
That was a free
is
one.
not America. This is not.
Mark, why do you feel that this platform is still useful to spread a message like this?
Listen, I want to pretend like this is, I want to be here to celebrate, and I am here to celebrate, and I'm proud to have a Golden Globe nomination. But
Yeah.
also, this is not normal anymore.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how I could be quiet, and I'm feeling a little sick, so it's hard to BS right now. So this is for her. This is for.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know. I think with him in particular, I think he's one of the most obnoxious. I don't know if you have the misfortune of following Mark Ruffalo on Twitter. Don't if you haven't already, but he's one of the most obnoxious human beings to ever disgrace the face of the earth with his presence. And he has this, again, he's just has way too much money, way too much time on his hands. He gets way more attention than he deserves. He has a giant platform and he hasn't really earned it. And he feels some kind of like obligation, this deep gnawing guilt to say things that are, relevant, impactful, and insightful about the world, but he just doesn't have the knowledge or the intellectual cognitive bandwidth to say anything meaningful or to offer any meaningful analysis. So all he can really do is regurgitate shitlib talking points. That's it. He doesn't have any original thoughts. He doesn't have the capacity for original thought. And that's where we're at. Like, most of the discourse is dominated by people who do not have the capacity for the original thought. And you know who that benefits most is the people who program you, right? The people who put the stuff on the phone to program you, who like signal boost all the worst things that are actively working against you, that are to your detriment. Those people benefit the most by you enthusiastically repeating whatever the phone told you. Yeah, or whatever your favorite retarded celebrity told you. Like, that's who benefits from it. So, fuck, man. Anyway, folks, we're coming up on 2 hours of the show. I'm probably going to wrap things up here. That's enough of that. This has been Hysterical Retards Protesting ICE. My name is Theo Snodgrass. This is Theocracy. Tomorrow, I'm going to be hosting Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass at 11 a.m. Pacific time, right here on this very same platform. I'm going to be bringing on what the fuck is that girl's name? Anyway, I'm bringing on an America First podcaster. I know what you're thinking. What could that possibly entail? I don't know, but she's a girl. She's a lady groiper. Asia Branch is her name. That's right, Asia Branch. She hosts America First AI over on YouTube. So go ahead and check out her podcast. She's going to be incredible. She's going to sit down for me for a one-on-one, and I'm going to ask her about America First. How is that different from MAGA? Why do you support Nick Fuentes? Why are you a black lady, but you support Nick Fuentes? Does that mean you're a white nationalist? Whatever. She's apparently very pro-patriarchy, so I'm sure we're going to get into that. She's very against Israel, so we're going to get into that. I don't know what her views are. I don't know how it's going to go, but you're definitely going to want to check that out. I also want a very active chat because I know a lot of people in our side of the internet have a lot of questions about the groypers and all that stuff. So if you have questions or if you want to contribute to the discussion, make sure to pop in there. I'm going to have the producer extraordinaire, Drunken Emerald Arrow there, just to make sure he can pull up the chats, to make sure we don't miss anybody. Yeah, and we're going to hopefully get a good, lively discussion going. I don't know what she's going to say. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really looking forward to it. So come and check that out. That's going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Also, the month of, I'm going to be at Mad Dog as brewing company for a comedy show on January 24th. I'm also going to be going on the road in the month of February. So if you are in such illustrious Pacific Northwest metropolises as Medford, Oregon, Walla Walla, Washington, Tulalip, Washington, Richland, Washington, Spokane, Washington, other such towns, you may be about to see me do live comedy. You will have the opportunity to see me do some live comedy. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure to come out. If you want to keep track of my schedule, make sure to follow me on Instagram, follow me on X. Most importantly, if you're new here, subscribe on YouTube. That's the most important thing you can do. Or send me money on the Stream Elements tip jar. That would also be great. Make sure to share this with other people that you think might benefit from it. And we're going to be getting a lot more shorts released on the channel pretty soon. Also, we're going to be updating the Patreon pretty soon. So that's very exciting. So make sure to hop on that, sign up for the Patreon so you can see the cool stuff we're going to be putting over there. This is going to be a big year for growing my social media infrastructure. So make sure to get on the bottom floor of that. Like I said, all the money you send me through the Patreon or through the Stream Elements tip jar, that just goes to making the show better. So if you want the show to look better or you want the show to be better or whatever, then send me money and that would be great. And if not, at the very least, share this with somebody that you think might benefit from it. That would be fantastic. And thank you so much for coming out and hanging out in the chat. That was fucking kick ass. Yeah, let's make sure to follow me on X, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, so you can keep track of where I'm going to be doing comedy in a city near you. Yeah, and in the meantime, please enjoy the outro. The intro to my other show is the outro to this show. Thank you very much.
Johnson grass for the foot. Well, look at my grass. No. Look at that grass.
Are we looking at ours as cat now?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear a damn thing you said.
All right.
And because I was a gazillionaire and I like doing it so much, I cut that grass for free.
The species is dying. The birth rate is plummeting. Women are chopped. But yeah, you know what? Get a fucking cat.
I know even more about grass.